attitude players. They were in last week and did a nice job with that. And even on the days off, a lot of them came in. So, but want to make sure we gave them a little time for recovery. But they're excited to go. They know they're playing a good football team. So they're excited.
What do you remember about that divisional round game against the Texans back in 2019 and being down 24-0, and what was kind of going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, we didn't start off very well, that's for sure. And they were playing well. I was proud of our guys for kind of regathering together, and coaches and players, and trusting each other enough to come back. And we were able to do that, but first half wasn't very good.
Coach, from the AFC, the ultimate destination is New Orleans, and of course that's where the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl, and Hank Stram had the navy blue blazer at that time. How much, when you broke out the navy blue blazer at the Super Bowl last year, how much do those traditional things mean to you?
Yeah, listen, I've got to give credit to Brett Veach on that. He set it up. We've worn it a couple times. Wore the red one too. Didn't have a lot of success with that one, but I love the history of the game. Obviously, there was a ton of history here, so I love that part of it. Kind of grew up. I was a big Mike Garrett fan, so I followed the Chiefs, and those were special years for sure.
Andy, given just your love of the history of the game, is there any part of you that allows yourself the appreciation of what you're trying to accomplish this postseason?
Yeah, Sam, you don't ever go there. You're kind of tunneled in here, just trying to find another play that possibly works, or another, defensive play that works, or special teams guys are doing that part. And it's a weird dynamic that way. You don't ever look at that stuff. You're just ingrained in trying to make sure you get communicated and see enough tape, but communicate with the players and teach them and so on. Yeah.
Were you purposeful with the players in that way too, to ensure that they had that mindset, whether it was back in OTAs or whenever it might have been?
Yeah, I haven't heard them say much about it. So I'm sure if I would have heard something that I felt like they were looking ahead or whatever, I'd remind them. But there hasn't been any need to do that. They've been pretty focused in all year. I mean, they know how I roll. I mean, they're around me all the time, so I don't ever go there. Yeah.
Coach, we know that Jalen Watson did a good job getting himself ahead of schedule. What's your optimism level for his potential return?
Yeah, I kind of want to see this week, see how he does. But what I've seen so far, it's been good. He's in good shape, and I'm not telling you he can play a whole game, but he sure, I think he has a chance of playing. Yeah, we'll see.
Andy, what catches your eye most about Texans defense, especially how they contain Herbert?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that jumps out at you is speed. That front can run. We didn't have a chance to play against Zero last year, or last time we played him a couple weeks back. And he's fast also as a linebacker, and he's kind of their main play caller there. So, but he can, the speed of the D-line, the linebackers just jump out at you. And they're real good. The hands of the secondary, those guys, they catch the ball. You don't see a lot of bobbles or drops or that. If you're presenting it close, they can go up and snag it.
Coach, I know that you preach all the time cleaning things up and all that. You guys have done a great job of cleaning turnovers and all that stuff up. I know there's different things you can do to hopefully have that continue, but sometimes on things like that, is it just a little bit of luck? Ball bouncing your way or not bouncing your way, or is it something you feel like you really can control a certain amount of?
Yeah, there's some of it you can. I mean, obviously, the ball's not round, right? So that thing bounces a little crazy sometimes. So those, you kind of go, all right, that happened. But some of these things you can focus on, keeping the ball high and tight, not letting it get off your body. The throws, the routes that you call for the throws. Those are all things that you have some control over.
Blair? Andy, just
What's the thought on left tackle and DJ or Joe?
Yeah, I'm gonna see how it goes this week. I'm gonna rotate them, and so it gives us some flexibility there. But I was happy with what Joe and Mike did in there, but I also liked what DJ did, and some of those snaps that he had, and there weren't a lot of them, but the snaps that he had against Denver.
When you say rotate, you mean rotate at practice, right?
Yeah, in practice, yeah. And we'll just see. We'll see how it goes.
Coach, Patrick has a new addition to his family. You watched him from number 1 to now number 3. As a father yourself, do you feel like it's gotten easier for him to be able to manage it all?
Yeah, I think he does great with it. He came in as Patrick 2 p.m. Now he's Patrick 3 p.m. So he's got. Once you have 3, 4 and 5 are easy. That's what I told him. So that was you've made 3. You add a couple more, we'll talk.
I don't know if Britt would agree.
Yeah, true.
Andy, we're talking to Xavier in a little bit. Just with all rookies in general, just wonder the process of knowing that they're going to struggle at times over the course of the season, but allowing them to play through that.
So what was the first part of
We're talking to Xavier in a little
Yeah.
bit. I just wondered with
Yeah.
the process. Obviously, he had a stretch during the season where I'm sure it wasn't as good as what he wanted to do, but just allowing him to play through that.
Yeah. So you could see the talent. He's a smart kid. You could see the talent. It was a matter of time. He saw that with Rasheed the year before. We've seen it with a bunch of receivers over time. So as long as they're willing to work, smart, and have the skill he has, obviously, but you just hang with it and they'll work through it. They've got to see it. Get kind of those main defenses down and the reads and the routes and all that. So he's done a nice job with all that.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Okay, good.
I know.
Do
3 weeks since the Pittsburgh game today. Did you do anything out of the ordinary to stay sharp during this time?
nothing that I would not normally do, I guess would be the best way to say it. I just kind of continue to work as far as working in the building, working at practice like I usually do. Obviously, the reps are a little bit different, but at the same time, you can get mental reps and you can get physical reps on the side. And so continue to work with those guys that weren't playing in that last Denver game and then preparing your body to go out there and execute in the playoffs.
I know it was an unusual game you guys had against the Broncos, just the people out there and all that stuff. Is there any fear at all that just kind of the down part of that would hang over, or is that an easy one to flush for the organization?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it didn't go the way we wanted to. I mean, we wanted to win the game and obviously didn't do that. And so we've had some time now that you kind of come back and you get ready to play. I mean, this is the playoffs now. This is where you want to be at, and you're going up against a great football team, and it's going to take your best effort to win it.
It seems like in the final stretch of the season you were getting rid of the ball quickly. How much of that was an emphasis, and how much do you want to carry that maybe potentially into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think just going up against great defenses, you got to get the ball out of your hand and let guys make plays. And we have a lot of talented guys that can make plays after the catch. And so get the ball out of my hand, let the guys make a positive play, and then move on to the next one. I mean, that's what you do in the playoffs.
What did you see from the Texans in that win against the Chargers?
Yeah, I think what everybody's kind of known. I mean, that defense is extremely real. They have a great quarterback and a great coach, and we knew when we played in this last time it was a hard-fought game, and they get after the quarterback really well. They have really good secondary players, and the linebackers fly around. So it'll be a great challenge for us, and we'll have to play our best football.
Patrick, you guys played the Texans, obviously, in the first game on your first Super Bowl run. What do you remember just about that day, other than you got down?
Yeah, no, it was just a big momentum swing, I think, for us. I mean, obviously, it was the second time I'd played in the playoffs, and getting down like that, things could have went south really fast, but I was proud of the resilience of the guys, and that kind of carried us throughout that entire playoff run, is that we just had no doubts that we were going to find a way to win, and that was a really good football team, and we were able to come back and beat that team, and it kind of sprung us through that the rest of the playoffs to get that Super Bowl win.
Are there ways that you noticed that the energy during that game, or being able to shift a game like that, has kind of carried you even through future pro seasons, or that you can draw on that sort of experience?
Yeah, I think just being down that many points and being able to come back and win, it tells you that the game's not over. You just got to take it one play at a time, and so that's kind of put us in situations in my career where we've been down points and we've been able to kind of bounce back and not try to make it all happen with one play. Just go one play at a time, do what you're supposed to do, and then let the game kind of come to us.
topic of Xavier, just how challenging is the initial playoff game for a rookie, and then what makes him, in your mind, ready for that?
Yeah, I think just the steady progression he's made all year long. I mean, obviously adrenaline's going to be flowing, and you're going to be, I guess, a little nervous or whatever that is. But once you get on the football field, you just play, and I think that's something that he's done great this entire season. He's played in a lot of big games. He's done a lot of productive things, and I expect him to do the same things as we get to the playoffs.
You obviously things are going well here, and I know you're trying to go 1-0. You're not trying to three-peat. You are, but not today, right? Do you think at all ever like what this run it means 20 years down the road for this city? I mean, like you grew up in not right in the Metroplex, but like what those '90s teams mean to Dallas and all that, what the Pittsburgh teams mean to Pittsburgh, what you guys have done in this last little run here.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting time in the city. I think just with all the different teams and how they're performing, and obviously this has been a fun run that we've had with the Chiefs. But I think every year is special. So I mean, obviously you want to win 3 in a row, but building those memories with the guys and with the community every single year is special. And when I look back at all the different Super Bowls that we've won, I look back at special moments that we've had and special games that we've had. And so we'll try to do that the same this year. I mean, it's been a fun run up to this point, but we want to get to that ultimate goal. But we know it's going to be challenging, so we have to just really focus in on the day and how we can get better and try to win the game and win the practice so that we're prepared for the game.
Well, congratulations, and what have the last couple of days been like for you?
Yeah, I mean it's been cool. I mean I'm just supporting. Brittany crushed it, but it's been cool to welcome another baby girl in our family and see how my other kids react to her and having baby Sissy and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun, and it was cool that football was on TV when I was in the hospital, so I got to watch a little bit. And so Brittany was kind enough to let us watch football as she was getting ready to give birth to our second daughter.
With being your third time around, you feel like it's become easier for you to manage, football and family life?
I mean, I don't even want to say that because it's Brittany's doing everything, so I'm just trying to be supportive. So no, it was cool that we got the bye, just because you can kind of really focus in on just being at the hospital, being in the moment, and it's a special moment that I know a lot of dads and moms have experienced, and you don't forget about that stuff. So I was glad I was able to be there and support in the best way I can.
I think you had told us that 3 was enough. The coach was just saying 4 and 5 or easier.
No, I mean, I'm good with 3 for right now. So we'll see down the line maybe, but my goal was always 3. So we've had 3, and we'll stick there for a while and see if we need to come back and get another one later on.
Patrick, last year Travis really, after he rested, played well throughout the postseason. Just as you've seen him throughout the years, what does playoff football mean to Travis?
I think it's just the greats, man. They step up in the playoffs, and it's just higher intensity, and the best players and the best leaders step up and make the best plays, and he's done that. And so I expect the same from him going into this playoffs. And I think his mentality that he steps on the football field with at practice and on game day is kind of resonates with the entire team and gets everybody to play their best football, and that's what it takes in order to win championships.
Nagy was saying a couple weeks ago that he thought Travis, of all the guys who got to sit out the last game last year, Travis was maybe the one who benefited the most. Did you see that with him, how he came back for the Miami game?
Yeah, I think that, and I think it meant a lot to the team that he put the team above himself in that moment. I mean, he obviously could have got 1,000 yards pretty quickly there, and all of us wanted him to get 1,000 yards. And he said, "That's not my goal. My goal is to win a Super Bowl." And I think guys took that and they ran with it. And then obviously he stepped up his play and made a lot of big time plays, and it worked out all for the best.
What did that mean to you?
I think, I still wanted him to get it, to be honest with you. But I think it inspired the team, and I think he kind of has that the heart of a champion, and I think that inspires everybody. And so when your leaders and your Hall of Fame guys are doing that, I think everybody knows that they got to put it all on the line.
Patrick, you mentioned that Xavier, you saw a steady progression throughout the year. That Bills game, it seemed like to us that it was the game where he started playing at a faster level. Just wonder what sort of stuff maybe out here at the practice field did you see that kind of prompted that, if you agree that was a kind of game?
Yeah, I think that was for sure. I think just he just let it go and just played. I think the offense started coming to him better, and he had been open earlier in the year. I think for me, it's just the more and more reps we got, I started hitting him on some of those passes, and he's a smart kid. He works extremely hard, and usually when you do that and you're that talented, good things happen. And so you just stay with the process, and he's done that, and that's why he's gotten better and better as the years went on.
Going back to being a girl dad real quick, I know you've been a supporter of girls flag football, and there's a chance Missouri will make it a high school sport. this year. I mean, what would your thoughts be? What would that mean? You know, thinking about maybe Sterling and Golem getting to play someday down the road.
I'm all for it. You know, I didn't know that, but I mean that would be awesome. I mean, just to see the flag football and how it's kind of swept the entire nation, to get the girls and the women involved and let them go out there and dominate and have fun. I mean, it'll be really cool. And Sterling can throw a football, so I'm sure she'll be very interested if we can get it in Missouri.
Okay, thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Pat.
But they could always.
Away for Trent.
What I mean, you just played them 4 weeks ago. How does that impact things? I mean, you've got fresh tape, but they could always gives them a chance to throw some wrinkles at you too, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Kind of like you said, you know, being able to just retain the information. You know, we just played them, kind of know what they're about, know how they play, their play style and stuff. But it's the playoffs. So when you come in the playoffs, a team's going to give you their best. They're going to give you some new plays. Not just going to run the same mundane things they were playing. You know, last time we played them, it was the whole 3 games in 10 days, so I'm sure they had to simplify it a little bit. But yeah, coming into this, I mean, we know they're going to give us their best shot, especially knowing we beat them last time, kind of coming with the chip on their shoulder, coming off a good win last week. So we definitely got to be ready for them.
Trent, naturally, I feel like you'll be up against Nico quite a bit. Just what kind of challenge does he offer?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was saying this earlier. I love going against players like this who I call him a complete receiver. You know, he's big, he's physical, he's fast, good hands. His connection with CJ, you can tell, is at an all-time high. They're kind of clicking on all cylinders, and he's their #1 receiver. And that's really why you want to play this game. Go against the best competition and a game that means a lot in the playoffs. So excited to go against him. You know what he's going to come into this game with, and ready to go compete.
What have you seen from Jalen as he kind of works his way back, and what would it mean if he could get back out there with you guys this week?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, Jalen's one of those guys in this DB room that has a lot of energy. You know, when you see him on the practice field, he's dancing, he's smiling. So great to get guys coming back from injury, whether it's been 2 weeks or 2 months. I think he's doing really well. You know, I think he's able to move around very well. You can tell that he's still retained the information. He's going out there, and it doesn't really look like he's coming off an injury. You know, yeah, I mean, he's still gonna have to get his football shape back, but as far as just everything I've seen, he's looking really good, and I think he's done a great job at just his recovery and getting back right.
What does he bring maybe to that group? Everybody has their different strengths, weaknesses. What's you mentioned the energy, but is there anything else Jalen specifically brings to the field for you guys?
I mean, he's a vet. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that has been in the system for 3 years, has played in all the big games, has made his plays, and he's someone that I know the coaches and everybody around here trust a lot out there. One of those guys that can come back in and have a physical advantage, you know, his length, his size, really good in man coverage, and someone that I think we just been missing as far as just the DB room as DBs, you know what I mean? I love whenever we get guys to come back and they kind of been away from a little bit because they're able to see things we don't see. They're able to see how this defense looked on the outside, and someone to come in and bring their input to the game and say, you know what, let's go out there and win this game.
Trent, what's it like covering Xavier in practice now against maybe what it was during training camp?
Yeah, man, you can tell his confidence is up. You know what I mean? You give somebody a full year in this system, in the league, they're always going to get better. You know what I mean? His routes have become crisper. You can tell in the game plan they're kind of finding him a little more routes he can run instead of just going vertical, getting some more of the short game, getting a few jet sweeps, kind of like McCoy used to get. And someone I've just been a fan of, just his play on the field, off the field, and someone I'm really excited just to see what he's going to do. I think he's a threat, he's a factor, and someone I know Pat really loves.
How can you tell he's more confident? What leads you to say that?
I mean, you just look at how he's out there on the field, where he's lining up within our offensive game plan, the amount of looks that Pat's giving him, the plays he's able to make, the catches he's able to make, and you can just tell that he's someone that wants to be that person. He wants to be the #1. He wants the ball. And when you have someone like that, I think that can be a real threat.
What does it mean to you to now be acknowledged as a 2-time All-Pro?
I mean, it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not really someone to hang my head or kind of come to the season wanting all these personal goals. Anytime I get them, I always say I'm thankful, and everybody who got it, I think they definitely should have got it. But really my goals and my focus is really more on the team and what we can do there. So, yeah, great that I got it, but moving forward.
You had couple more.
You guys had 2 picks against CJ in that first game. The first one really stopped that drive. And in the playoffs, you're seeing turnovers between two good teams, and that decides it. Can you talk about the importance of that for you guys?
Huge, especially as a defender and what the defense always talks about, anytime you get a turnover is great. I think that getting the two turnovers last time we played them was huge. Not only for momentum, not only for energy, but, I mean, you talk about taking points off the board. That's huge. Giving the ball back to Pat Mahomes, knowing what our offense can do, and especially going into these playoffs, I think it becomes even more of a thing. Winning that turnover battle and making sure that you're taking as less risk and getting the best field advantage possible for our offense is what you want to do.
Last one, anyone? Thanks, Trent.
Simon Says, upgrade. Again.
What's new?
I mean, what have you heard, or how have you gotten yourself ready for this first playoff game of your career?
Man, just treating it like every other game. I got a lot of vets in the room, so they kind of just make it easy on me. Just take it week by week and treat it like a regular game.
Think you'll be more nervous for this one than a normal game?
Nah, I'll be all right.
Talking with Trent, he was very impressed with the way your route tree has kind of expanded. How have you felt like you've developed that as the year has gone on?
I feel like just understanding the game more, being around guys that's been around and did it against good corners. So getting it from them and understanding their knowledge how to do it just helped me evolve as a player.
Is there a veteran who helped you the most, and just how so?
D-Hop, he's really route savvy, played in the league for a long time and understands it. Also, Hollywood Brown, a guy kind of similar to me, small in frame, so telling me how to run routes against guys, bigger guys, smart guys, it helped a lot.
Specifically, what kind of advice did they have for you?
They just gave me techniques. I can't really tell you the advice; it'll give away my tricks. But yeah, they just gave me little techniques on how to beat certain coverages and stuff.
How about just confidence from week one to now?
I feel like I've always had the confidence. It's just more of understanding the game. Football now in the NFL is kind of different from college, so understanding the game from college to now is a little different. So I feel like I'm kind of catching on a little more.
Anything else?
You played in the playoff last year in college, the one game with Texas. Does this feel like that at all? How does this feel compared to that one?
I feel like this is a little more bigger than the college game in college, but yeah, I feel like it's just a little more bigger.
Patrick has noted that he felt like the Buffalo game was where you kind of broke through. Did you feel that way, and how did you maybe see that in that game and then grow thereafter?
Yeah, I feel like just my understanding that week and the way I prepared just kind of gave glimpses and showed I understand the game and looking at little stuff, watching on film. I feel like my preparation that week was different, so I just took that week and just applied it every week and got better every week.
You mentioned Hollywood. His first game back, I think, was the Texans game a month ago. What have you seen from him now that he's he got a couple games, but maybe had a couple weeks off? What have you seen from him in terms of his preparation? Is he getting a little sharper?
Right. He's been out, so just him getting back right and also playing that game and playing the Pittsburgh game, just getting reps under his belt. Obviously, the game of football is about getting reps and understanding having the field. So I feel like he's been doing that, getting reps in practice and running full speed.
Anything else? Thanks, Xavier.
This is a shrimp and pearl roll. And you dip it in the spicy mayo. 10 out of 10. Let's get into this big slab of salmon. Damn. Look at that big slab of salmon. Eat it with the shredded up carrots. A nice slab of ginger. And then you take it like this. Thank you. You dip that hole real nice. And then you just bite. Oh my god, that was a quick one. I wonder if I got 6. Open foods are in the wild. No, they didn't have Coke.